Brent Johnson deep in thought, perhaps visualizing the previous success he has enjoyed against the Ottawa Senators. He'll try to keep that going here tonight in the capital of Canada. Hello again, everybody. Along with Bob Airy, I'm Paul Steigerwald. Welcome to Ottawa. The Pens and Sens reunite after a pretty tough game that they played against one another back on November 25th, Bob.
Yes, I'm wondering if there's going to be carryover in this hockey game. It got a little nasty there. Foligno running over Marc-Andre Fleury, Crosby, a couple of forearm shivers. And that led to Brian Murray kind of getting his team and rallying them and saying, hey, it was my fault. I didn't dress a tough enough lineup. Well, Neil's in the lineup. Matt Cartner, the big tough rumble guy on defense, he's in the lineup. It might be a barn burner here in Ottawa tonight.
Well, injury still a big story, and once again, the Penguins are stricken with that, as are the Senators for this game here tonight.
Absolutely incredible. Another star player has gone down in the National Hockey League. The brother of Elias right there at the youngster Erik Karlsson, and he landed right on his head. Did McCulloch, and 19 goals out of the lineup for the Ottawa Senators here tonight. Another great hockey player, Jordan Staal, and his 12 goals, not in the lineup. He's been trying to nurse a lower body injury and get back to health. It just does not going to happen for Jordan Staal, who has not a point in 6 games, out tonight.
Fortunately, the Penguins do have a guy who put on an electrifying performance in a loss to the Detroit Red Wings on Tuesday night, one Evgeny Malkin.
Well, was he ever phenomenal, wasn't he, Staggy? I mean, this guy leads the National Hockey League in shots per game. He's doing it all right now. At 9 in that game, he was robbed for a second goal, the only goal. But Malkin needs a little bit of help from some other players in the lineup to get it done. And this guy, Jason Spezza, he's still only 28 years of age. He's a plus 55 in his career. He scored a beautiful goal against Tim Thomas, the only goal they scored on 49 shots, the Senators, in their last outing.
Senators are a young, energetic team. They put on some pressure offensively. Matt Niskanen will deal with that. He leads the Penguins with a plus 12. He'll visit with Dan Potat in just a moment.
Of Canada tonight, where the Penguins will face the Ottawa Senators here on Root Sports. And Matt, with so many new faces on defense tonight, how do you slow down a Ottawa offense that has fired almost 100 shots on goal over the last 2 games?
Yeah, they're playing well offensively right now. Like you said, they're getting a lot of shots, producing a lot of opportunities. So I think just play our systems, be aggressive, be in their face, and play in the offensive zone as much as we can.
You'll see a little time on the penalty kill tonight. They have struggled on the power play. They're just 2 for their last 32. How do you continue to help them with their struggles?
Well, we can expect a desperate group over there. They're probably going to shoot the puck a lot, so we got to be in lanes and take away their time and space, and just be hard on them.
Matt, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Gentlemen, it's all yours.
All right, thank you very much, Dan. Let's take a look at Dan Bilesma's Toyota lineup here tonight, Bob.
Now he's got Evgeny Malkin and James Neal on the top line. 1-2 in the National Hockey League in shots on goal. Kunitz on the left side. Pascal Dupuis will move into the center position in the absence of Jordan Staal tonight. Tyler Kennedy on the right dominates a point a game against the Sens in his career, and Steve Sullivan on the left. Joe Vitale, the hard-working Vitale, the third-line center with Aaron Asham and Matt Cook on the left. And then, of course, Craig Adams. There you see Tang Grady on the fourth line. Eric Tang Grady has been called up, and Steve McIntyre. He may drop the mitts tonight with Cartner. We'll wait and see on that. Orpik Niskanen, the pairing on defense. You got Derek Englund with Paul Martin and Simone Dupre a couple hours down the road with Alexander Picard, who has been called up as well.
Both of these teams playing in back-to-back situations, going with their backup goaltenders. It'll be Brent Johnson against Alex Auld of the Ottawa Senators in just a moment.
Penguins hockey on Root Sports is brought to you by the new 2012 Toyota Camry. It's ready. Are you? By McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by your Western PA Chevy dealers.
The Penguins will begin this game with Pascal Dupuis playing at center ice tonight. And that's what happens when Jordan Stahl's out of the lineup. So this will be his second opportunity to play center. And in a full game, he did do it a little bit prior to playing center ice recently in a full game. And also Matt Cook and Tyler Kennedy on that line with him. Derek Engelland on defense along with Paul Martin to start the game for the Penguins. The Jason Spezza line with Daniel Alfredsson and Colin Greening. Erik Karlsson on defense for the Senators, along with rookie Jared Cowan, and a hard shot. Oh, that hit the face of the mask of Brent Johnson or the collarbone. Not sure. It hit him up high for sure. And he's been shaken already by the first shot of the hockey game.
Hit him right in the mask. Goaltenders did not used to wear the mask. But a good shot, a good hard shot, a rising shot from the point position nails Brent Johnson right in the mask. And he turned sideways, it looked like, to his left when that puck came up. And the puck really, when you turn sideways, it doesn't have that deflecting motion that it does if you just get caught square on. You're better off if you just face that puck and let it hit you off the side of the head. But of course, reactions are reactions. He looks okay.
Karlsson drives another one, and he is okay. He makes the save on that shot. And over to play it now is Derek Engelland. He gets it out in center. Now Matt Cook to the puck quickly. Dupuis cuts to the net. Cook can't get him the puck. Good defensive play by Karlsson. And Winchester's got it now, or Spezza rather, for the Senators. Sends it up off the near wall. And it goes to the Penguin zone. And Engelland back to touch up on an icing call. By the way, the Senators, as you can see, are playing in their heritage jerseys here tonight as we look at our key starting goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
There he is, Brent Johnson, 8-1-1 in his career. 2-0 as a Penguin right here against the Ottawa Senators. Getting the nod here tonight, Brent Johnson in his 301st game in the National Hockey League.
Malkin digs for the puck for Neal. Now for Kunitz. Back for Neal behind the net. Karlsson bumps him. Malkin picks up the puck. And Gino strong on the puck here. Loses an edge. Spezza still on the ice. And headed to the bench now for a change. And Karlsson under a little difficulty in his own zone. Took him a while to get out over to Cowan, who then lifts it out to center and all the way back to the Penguin zone where Orpik will go back to play it. Now the Senators steal. And then with fresh players on the ice here. Out to the point, Kartner back in the lineup. Matt Kartner, who you mentioned in the open, Bob, is a tough guy. He's also pretty effective playing on defense. Gets his shots through. Big right-hand shooting defenseman. Now the puck is lifted to the corner by Eric Condra. And Kasper Zdogovin's trying to hold it in. Now the Penguins, Orpik moves it out for Aaron Asham. Into the middle now for Sullivan, who dumps it into the Senators zone. Sullivan gets in after it around Kartner. Aaron Asham on the ice along with Joe Vitale and Steve Sullivan as the puck is cleared over the glove of Simon Desprez. And back into the Penguin zone where Alexander Picard, fresh up from Wilkes-Barre, will play it and we'll get an icing call.
Well, Alex Auld gets a nod here. Only second time he started for the Ottawa Senators here in Ottawa. He got blasted in his first game, allowing 4 on 10 shots. There's his record. But against the Penguins, he's 5-1. And you talk about new jerseys. He's worn the jersey of 8 different teams in the National Hockey League.
The Senators twice. So he's a guy who's moved around, and I was looking, I think he said he was a new Suitcase Smith. There was a goaltender named Gary Suitcase Smith who played in the NHL. And he played for 7 different NHL teams and a whole lot of minor league teams. So Alex Auld is the new Suitcase of the NHL.
Well, speaking of suitcases, Tangradi was called up from Wilkes-Barre and just got his first shot on net here tonight, playing with McIntyre and Adams, that 4th unit.
Engelland ahead now for Eric Tangradi. He's playing with Brian Lurg.
And Lurg just went down with an injury. Boy, they've been... You think about how the Penguins have been battered up. Of course, that affects your minor league team as well.
Tangradi feeds it into the middle, but playing the puck, Peter Regan, and the Senators go D to D. Rudenblad ahead to Regan. Number 13 of the Senators. Sends it in behind the net. Chris Neal second in the league in penalty minutes coming into the game with 60. And right ahead of him is his teammate Zenon Konopka, who leads the National Hockey League with 106 and led the league last year. So two of the top penalty minute leaders in the NHL in this game for the Ottawa Senators. Now Neal goes to the bench as Rundblad lifts it up into the left wing corner of the Penguins zone. Dupre faking this way and that to try to buy himself some time. And the Penguins step out of their own zone. McIntyre, speaking of tough guys, look for Dupuis, but off his stick. And then cleared back to the Penguin line. Dupre with it there. Over to Picard, who's from Gatineau, Quebec, which is right across the bridge from the city of Ottawa. And he's basically back in his hometown or his backyard. He's got a few people on hand to watch the game tonight. Picard family members and friends. Over to the puck now, Tyler Kennedy. And Kennedy trying to maintain control, but big Jared Cowan comes to center ice. 20-year-old defenseman. He is a big boy. At 6'5", 230, only 20 years old, playing with Carlson, who leads the NHL among defensemen in points with 26 points coming in. Carlson, number 65, goes back to the puck.
Yeah, what a combination. So you got 20-year-old and a 21-year-old, and Jared Cowan has stepped up on everything he's moved here tonight. Already impressing me is Jared Cowan in this game, as people talk glowingly about him as well.
Brooks Orpik helps out his partner, Matt Niskanen. Moves it out to the left side, trying to get it to Kunitz. Taken away, though. Dragovich to the goal. He shoots it on a save made by Brent Johnson. Centering pass comes all the way through to Phillips. Now to Kirkner, a drive down low, and a good pad stop there by Brent Johnson. And a penalty coming up here. One of the Senators, Dragovich, was upended by Matt Niskanen, and he will head to the box.
Well, I'll tell you, they're on a mission, the Senators, and that's in terms of wanting to shoot the puck. They had 49 in their last game, 44 the game prior to that. And there's the penalty in front as Niskanen gets his stick caught in there, and Dragovich goes down. So the more offensive shots you get, you feel like you will score more, you will draw more penalties, you will tend to win games. That's certainly what Dan Bousma tries to live by. Let's play in the offensive zone. Chances are you're going to be better off and win more hockey games. And Brent Johnson's making big saves here early.
Tripping penalty, quick shot right off the draw. Carlson moving up on the play, and again Brent Johnson makes the save, and the Penguins able to clear it. Well, this Carlson shoots the puck.
7 last game.
Yeah, he really gets himself involved offensively, and they were raving about a recent performance by him in a 4-on-4 situation in overtime where he just dominated on the ice. Actually took a face-off. And they were all kidding him about that because he was always bragging about how good he would be on the draws if he ever got a chance to do it, and he got beaten cleanly on the face-off. But Carlson is a chatty kind of guy on defense for the Ottawa Senators, who really is starting to make a name for himself in the NHL. He's on the ice now. Moves it to Jason Spezza. Cross ice now. Big Jared Cowan to Carlson. Eric Carlson back for Cowan. Not a good pass there. He returns the puck to Carlson. Now Alfredson, he likes to move around the ice on the power play, moving to different spots. Shoots the puck, and it's right on. And the save made by Brent Johnson. It was deflected on the way in. And the Penguins clear it down the ice.
Good puck movement. They were able to get the puck through the box. There's Matt Cook in on the steal against Alex Auld. But yeah, you mentioned guys, bodies moving around. You saw Alfredson out on the point and Neal in front of Brent Johnson.
Now Dupre is able to lift it down the ice. 41 seconds to go on the penalty to Matt Niskanen for tripping. The Senators with the 16th ranked power play in the NHL. Regan. Bumped by Engel. Dupre hurried up the boards, and he got it past the man at the point, Rundblad, and it goes back into the Senators zone. That's a great play by Simon Dupre.
Got enough on that, and Rundblad did not make a great play on that puck at all. And they missed Sergei Gonchar, one of the best in the business of keeping pucks in at the blue line.
Good play there by Rundblad. Shoots it. He missed the goal. Man. Made a nice move with the blue line to get himself free. Got it again now. Now for Foligno, and the puck retrieved by Foligno. Moves it to the corner. Back out to Rundblad. Fakes the shot. Got a man to go down to Tally. Goes left side. One pass too many for Phillips. Out of the box. Niskanen. Good shot from the slot by Foligno. Was blocked by Orpik. And the Senators are trying to keep it in, but Rundblad backs up on the play, and Vitale able to get to it and softly send it up into the Senators zone.
Oh man, what a great play by Brooks Orpik. Stick on puck after a turnover. Brooks Orpik saving the day at the end of that Penguin penalty kill.
Max Smith dumps into the Penguin zone. Dupre takes a look over his shoulder, makes a nice little pass to Picard, his partner, and up the wall it came where it's held in by Lee. And Lee sent it behind the net. Dupre is there. Picard to Neal. And he delivers it into the Senators' zone. Eric Condra back to get it. Malkin trying to pick his pocket. And Condra able to whip it around the boards and all the way back into the Penguin zone. This will be an icing call against the Senators.
Condra with a goal and assist the last meeting between these two teams. And Simone Dupre has made 3 tremendous outlet passes already in this hockey game in his own zone. Our tips to win, courtesy of Rivers Casino here tonight. Carryover. Well, Brian Murray said some words after a physical last game against the Penguins when he did not have Kartner nor Neal dressed. Help Gino, 9 shots, most shots per game, and yeah, be tough on that Carlson, Erik Karlsson. Yappy, yes, 177 pounds, yes. Play hard on him. He plays 25, 26 minutes a game from the blue line.
Sullivan trying to come to the net. Matt Kartner to the puck. He put it to the line, no further. Niskanen's shot didn't get a lot on it, but it bounced to the net. Save made by All, thrown right back to the net. And held now by the goaltender, Alex Auld. 2 shots for the Penguins, 7 for the Senators, and no score.
Vehicles.
Here's a look at Nick Foligno. Bob talked about carryover, and this one is what he's referring to from the last time these two teams met on November the 25th in Pittsburgh.
And this is fall over the goaltender by Nick Foligno. This is forearm shiver by Sidney Crosby. Brian Murray saying, well, we made a mistake. We didn't dress our tough guys, Neal and Kartner, who was battered up, and we're going to make sure the next time around that we meet them, we'll be prepared for this type of battle. We'll see if there is any carryover. Of course, Crosby not in the lineup here tonight.
And Murray did admit the other day that some of that drama has been removed by the fact that Sidney Crosby is not playing in the game. But this was the quote that came afterwards, and the key part down at the bottom there where he says, I made a mistake. We didn't have Chris Neal and Matt Kartner play in the game. We didn't have enough toughness. So when we play Pittsburgh, that's something you can bring up to me again, which they did this week. But then he said, well, Sid's not playing now, so maybe it's not as big a deal as it was, but I still think it is.
And that was a quick look at Brian Murray there we showed.
Yep. Penguins control the puck here. Niskanen wristing it off the boards on purpose for Tangradi. And Tangradi sends it back out to Brooks Orpik. Down towards the net. And it's deflected a couple of times on the way to the goal, and then Alfredsson takes it in the middle, moves it to Spezza, attacking against Orpik. Curls. Looks for a trailer. Orpik stays tight on him, though. Spezza continues to stick handle in the phone booth until Orpik finally took it away. And Joe Vitale sends it inside the Senators' zone. Erik Karlsson has it there. Aaron Asham heads to the bench as the Penguins make a change. The Senators will run their controlled breakout of a lead pass up the middle. Taken now on the right wing by Winchester, and he shoots it. Stand on it and partially blocked by Paul Martin. Senators trying to get the cycle going here. Bobby Butler sent it up the wall, but Kunitz finds Martin jumping out of his own zone. Now to Derek Engelland. Gino cross ice. Neal takes it. Now to Kunitz, a drive, and he missed the goal. That was a good passing play by the Penguins there.
Yeah, it was, but I'd rather see Neal shoot that puck. I knew he could get it on. He scored many a goal from the top of that circle on Auld, and the Penguins only have 3 shots right now. When you lead the National Hockey League in shots like Neal does, you keep shooting. Let Kunitz get to the front of that net. And the Penguins, yeah, the passing was pretty, but they didn't get anything from it.
Dupuis with speed attacks and shoots it, and Auld makes the save. The rebound batted out of the air to the near side by Kartner. And controlled by the Penguins. Dupre can't keep it in. Pressured by Condra. Dupre right back to his partner Picard. Quick pass up the left wing off the stick of Kennedy. And Alex Auld will dish it to the corner for Phillips. Now behind the net for Cowan. With Phillips and Cowan, first-round draft picks, defenseman for the Senators, but Phillips first overall. Now there's Condra shooting, and a save made by Johnson. And Pascal Dupuis comes back for the Penguins. Dupuis has Kennedy on his right, dumps it in. Kennedy trying to get to it around the defense. Bogdanovich got to it, banked it off the boards for Condra. And the Senators go on the attack. The Penguins making some changes on the far side, and a man wide open. Foligno with a goal. One pass too many. Tried to set up Condra for a tap in. He was right in the slot for the perfect point-blank opportunity himself.
What a pass by Karlsson. Oh, man, how did he see him?
Foligno again to the goal, and a save made by Brent Johnson. So that time Foligno decided to shoot it. He probably should have done that the first time.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got Asham. We got Kartner, I believe. Is it not?
It's Neal.
Is it Neal? Wondering why Carlson would be in front of the net. Yeah, Neal dropped the gloves. The officials, the linesmen get in there and break that up before anybody could crack one another. Neal, 1,743 career penalty minutes. He'll add to that total. And boy,
the guy that leads the NHL in shots on goal, James Neal. As we look at our barrel leaders,
the centerman is right there behind him, Evgeny Malkin. Malkin actually leading in shots per game. But James Neal, 127 to Malkin. Then you see a couple of Winnipeg Jets there right behind the Penguins. We'll see the Jets December 23rd in Winnipeg. Chances are there will be no snow in Winnipeg on December 23rd, which has to be a rarity. We'll see.
Brooks Orpik takes it, moves into the middle to Malkin. Malkin drops it off to Neal, 4-on-4, shoots it, and it's off a stick and up into the netting. Face-off coming up in the Ottawa zone. Let's take a look at our AGH scratches tonight.
Penguins got a handful of them, and Dan Bilesman shuffling his lineup in the absence of Crosby, Stahl, and Bortuzzo. Our AGH scratches.
Malkin has points in 3 straight games, 5 points in that stretch, and 9 of his last 11. He's got 15 points, 6 goals in his last 11 games. And right now, he is second in the NHL in points per game at 1.21. He's got 29 points in 24 games. Gino, great pass to Neal. Neal shoots it. And the save made by Auld. And Neal with a sneaky little shot that time gets tangled up a bit with Kartner after shooting the puck.
And an extra little shot by Kartner just for good measure there. But, you know, Malkin has stood up by Phillips right at the blue line, and Neal with great puck support. That's what you have to do. You know, Phillips makes a good play. Neal makes a better play, coming in there supporting Malkin so that he can get in there. And Mona Granado telling him that's exactly what you do. And you don't retaliate either. So you say you go to the net, force Kartner to take an extra shot on you and maybe take a little bit of a flop or a dive. But hey, listen, if Murray's going to come out there and point out Neal and Kartner, you got to use that to your advantage if you're a smart hockey player. Find the timing of that and find a time to draw them into a penalty. And let's see if the Penguins can find that tonight.
Penguins have outscored the opponent 4-1 in 4-on-4 as the Senators 5-4 outscored 4-on-4. And the Penguins trying to get a 6th goal against them in a 4-on-4 situation. And another minute 12 to go on these coincidental minors. Quick shot by Dupuis off the stick of Cowan up into the netting behind the goal. Tomorrow night it's the Penguins and the Sabres back in Pittsburgh. And it all starts at 6:30 right here on Root Sports. Another back-to-back situation for the Penguins.
And that's a league high. Playing here tonight on the road for the 19th time. The Penguins lead the National Hockey League at this point with 19 road games.
This is the 5th set of back-to-backs. The Penguins are 5-2-1, 3-1 in the first game, 2-1-1 in the second game of back-to-back situations. Senators are 2-4 in the first, 2-2-2 in the second of back-to-backs. An offside call against Ottawa. And of course, it helps when you have an excellent backup goaltender like the Penguins have in Brent Johnson. Dan Bilesma turning to him here tonight. And it was somewhat predictable when you look at the back-to-back situation and the number of games the Penguins are playing. And the fact that you have to get Brent Johnson in the lineup. You can't just have him sitting.
He had a big game in his last outing, and the Penguins have won 4 of the last 5 against the Sens. You look at Brent Johnson's record we showed you at the top, 8-1-1 in his career against Ottawa.
And all 5-1, as you said, against the Penguins. So it's a pretty good matchup of backups here tonight. Makes a lot of sense for the two coaches. All did see some time in that loss in Pittsburgh. It was a 6-3 Senators loss on November 25th, and All replaced Greg Anderson in that game, if you remember. So he's already seen some action against the Penguins this year, allowed a couple of goals and 50 minutes of action in that game. Now it's Phillips with it. Phillips, one of a handful of defensemen who were taken first over. Many have gone first overall over the years. Here's Evgeny Malkin coming to center. Only 4 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. Malkin around the goal. Carlson eyeing him all the way. Malkin continues to protect the puck. Double teamed right now by Spezza and Carlson. Finds Niskanen at the point. Now to Orpik. Orpik shoots it on edge, wide of the goal. Neal to the puck. 5-on-5 now. Loose around the net. Asher one-handed on the stick. Neal had it for a moment. Quick shot. Niskanen. And out of play. Boy, puck following the Penguins on that shift.
No, was it ever? Asham talking to Neil right now. They came out of the box, and Malkin, he can't keep up. I mean, he is absolutely undressing Karlsson right now. McLean's got to be worried about that matchup. He was asked this morning who he was going to match up against that Malkin-Neil unit, and Kunitz as well. He said, well, Cowan's big and strong. Karlsson is not. He can skate. He can stay with Malkin, but he can't out-muscle him, and he can't outreach him. And Malkin's got to love that matchup, I would think.
Colin Greening. And an offside call. McLean actually coached Dan Bilesman in Anaheim. He was an assistant to Mike Babcock, and he was talking today about how Bilesman was very inquisitive, asking a lot of questions, and he wasn't surprised that he became a coach. There's Eric Tangradi.
He was a Duck, wasn't he?
He was.
There you go. And he's back up here. His third game for the Penguins this year. Those are his numbers. 10-10 and 20 points in 24 games in Wilkes-Barre this year. We'll see if he gets a good opportunity. Only 7 minutes his first game as a Penguin, 10 in his second game. Getting a chance here on the third line. Started this game on the fourth line. He's been out here quite a bit so far.
He's playing with Vitale and Cook, and Vitale with a puck looks for Tangradi, and he gets planted on the near side by Rundblad. Penguins keep the puck, and Orpik. And a half slapper wide of the goal, and it's cleared by the Senators to center, taken there by Derek Engelland of the Penguins. Engelland with a lead pass. It goes past Tangradi right to the net. All under pressure from Cook. Hurries the puck to the far boards. And now Colin Greening with it. Over to Rundblad. David Rundblad, former St. Louis Blues first-round pick. Moves it to the corner. Derek Engelland after it. Colin Greening over skates. And Brooks Orpik gets those big legs churning. Comes to center. Finds Tangradi. You try to get it deep and hit a Senator. And now it's Daniel Alfredsson with it. And Alfredsson shoots it to the corner. Senators were changing. Foligno tried to work it down the wall. Vitale wouldn't let him do that. On a second chance, though, he finds Alfredsson. Out to Cowan, a shot. He broke his stick. And now he backs up with no stick as the puck is going to be taken by Karlsson. Martin pressuring him. And Karlsson able to swing it for Alfredsson. Taken away, though. Martin looks for a man cutting to the net. Kennedy. Martin gets it again. Can't shoot it. Dupuis can't either. Adams to the puck. Now behind the net, Tyler Kennedy has it. And he tried to go to the corner and does. Adams now for the Penguins. Try to go to the point. And a good read that time by Daniel Alfredsson to break it up and direct it back to the Penguin line.
Great takeaway by Martin in the neutral zone. He was second on the team in takeaways, but he had a shot and the opportunity to take a shot in the offensive zone. Just couldn't get his body in the right position.
Couple bodies down as the puck comes up the wall. And Tyler Kennedy hit hard on the near boards as he tried to reverse the puck back to the corner by Chris Neal. Neal, he can hurt you. Neal with it now, shoots it, and it's off the stick of Craig Adams, who bumps with Neal behind the net after the puck goes up into the net. Look at Pat, he's got a stick stuck in his skate.
His own stick, the butt end stuck in the book.
During the break, Bobby, he's watched thousands of hockey games, thousands, played thousands, and he said he's never seen this.
No, well, look where the stick of Adams, his own stick ends up. Well, I don't know. Well, you know, you kind of see it, but usually it's the other guy's stick, or I don't know what happened there. I don't even know how it got there. He's probably wondering right now. He went flying through the air. Next thing you know,
it's in there.
It was right lodged in his.
Chris Neal, he just ignored it. He just skates away.
No, I know. It's funny when you're winning, and they're tied right now at 0-0, and 6 shots for the Pens. Neal has been trying to get engaged with somebody in this hockey game. He's bumping everything in moves.
9 shots for the Senators, and Karlsson has 3 of them. Now another false face-off, and he's going to get thrown out this time.
Penguins won 61% of the draws in the last meeting between these two teams, and Malkin loses this one.
Dragovich won it cleanly, and Kartner shoots it off a skate. Dragovich to the puck. Banks it off the boards. Smith to the point for Phillips off the stick of Malkin. Centering pass by Malkin for Orpik right in front of his own net. Niskanen over trying to get it out against Dragovich, and he's able to rattle it off the boards, and it rolls back right towards the goal. Back to get it as Kartner, was poked away by Hall to the corner. And now Neal and Malkin team up to get the puck to Kunitz, who had it knocked off his stick. Picard holds it in for Neal. To Kunitz, his shot save, rebound Malkin, can't reach the rebound. It was sitting there. You could read the label on it, but he just couldn't reach around the defenseman to get the puck. And back out the center it comes for Neal. Neal ahead to Kunitz. Back to Neal into the Senators zone. Now for Kunitz, and he overskates. Condra trying to get it out, and it comes to Zach Smith.
What a terrible play by Alex Auld. Matt Carter skates all the way back to get that puck, and Auld, just before he gets there, knocks it into the corner right away from him. As you know, all he's got to do is lay it there so he can skate around the net, and the Penguins almost score a goal off that play.
Now the puck shot by Greening into the Penguin bench. And
not a good play at all by Alex Auld. You have to have communication. He hasn't been in there a lot. His puck comes back. Watch Carton. He's getting all the way back there. Just put it to the post. He'll go around the net. No, and then he just shuffles it right to Malkin. And the Penguins get this opportunity off that real bad play. And all of his, he gets himself locked up against the goalpost. And he's really fortunate that one of the game's greatest and Malkin doesn't put that puck in the net. That was just a bad communication play by Auld.
You mentioned that Auld doesn't play much, and Carter hasn't been in the games very much either. He's been injured, out with a knee injury. It's only his 4th game. Shot from the right wing boards, and a save made on Kennedy by Alex Auld, and he'll hang on to it.
Kennedy, 14 points in 14 games in his career, and there's Pascal Dupuis playing in game 700 here tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Pascal Dupuis has got 299 career points in his career. Taking the face-off here against Jason Spezza.
And Dupuis has done it all for the Penguins except drive the bus.
Defense on the power play.
Kennedy with another hard shot. Rebound. Dupuis trying to get to it, and Carlson's got control of it and uses the glass to try to get it out. But Kennedy, look where he is now. Hustles all the way back out to the line to keep it in. Now the Senators' Daniel Alfredsson comes to center. Kennedy with 9 goals in his career against the Ottawa Senators. He said 14 points in 14 games, 9 of them goals. Some big ones too. Like a game winner in Stockholm. Here's Dupuis down the wall. Dupuis shoots it off the stick of Lee, and it hits the glass, doesn't go into the netting. And Dupuis is crashing at the side of the cage and trips over that and lands on top of the goaltender Auld, who loses his lid.
Pascal Dupuis trying to, I love that backhand move. He gets tangled up in the corner of the net as Phillips kind of knocks him into the helmet, and Pascal Dupuis, his left arm hits the head of Auld and dislodges that goal mask. And the goalies, you saw Brent Johnson in the first shift of the game take a shot off the mask, and now Auld loses the lid.
Dupuis, when talking about playing the center, Bob, when we get a chance, maybe we can talk about some of the differences in his role as a center iceman compared to playing on the wing, and how that changes his effectiveness. Turning shot by Sullivan save. Niskanen to the rebound. Try to backhand one to the net. He's in deep. Works it back in behind the cage for Asham. The tally working hard down low for the Penguins. Snaps it out to the point. Niskanen fires and he missed the goal. And it'll come near side of Butler, who's able to work it out to the neutral zone. Winchester able to force it back into Penguin ice. Taken now by Niskanen. Keeps his feet moving and just comes bolting out of his own zone nicely ahead for Sullivan. Butler got in the way of that. Niskanen tries to get it inside the Senator line.
Hit somebody, went into the players' bench. The shots were 7-2 for the Sens. Now they're 10-9 for the Penguins. The Penguins have outshot their opponent 14 of the last 17.
We talked about Tangradi coming up. He's one of the players who's been used from Wilkes-Barre. Picard, Depre, Bortuzzo, Tangradi, Williams, and Strait. Of course, Bortuzzo and Strait, a couple of defensemen who have been injured in their stint here in Pittsburgh. And McIntyre's on the ice, and he's paired up right now with Chris Neal.
Interesting. Let's see if Neal's as brave as he has been in his early shifts in this hockey game. He doesn't seem to want to engage with McIntyre right at the moment. He seemed to want to engage with Asham.
McIntyre bumps into Cowan after he cleared the puck to center ice. Taken down by Depre. Out on right wing, Tangradi. Oh, a big collision with Cowan, and Cowan went down. Tangradi saw him coming at the last second.
Ran him over.
Now Brooks Orpik for Depre. And he'll dish it inside the Senators zone. Minute 43 to go here in the first period. No score. Shots were 7-1 at one point in favor of the Senators. Now they're 10-9 Penguins. 1 lead pass by Orpik goes past everybody, and this will be an icing call against Pittsburgh.
I mentioned Cowan, the first shift standing up. He's been doing it all period. Tangradi must have heard the benches or saw Cowan coming. He dumps the puck by Cowan, gets it deep, and runs over Cowan. Tangradi's got a little involved in this game. They're letting him play. His minutes, they're going to be up around 4 minutes at least, 4 to 5 minutes at the end of this first period of play. He's getting a good opportunity in this hockey game. 0-0.
Phillips to Kartner, wrister off a stick, and into that protective netting again, and another face-off coming up.
I mentioned the Penguins have outshot their opponent 14 of the last 17 hockey games, and this Senator team, they came out flying, shooting the puck. They had 49 shots against the Charleston Boston Bruins the other night. They lost that game 4-1. Jason Spetz had a nice wrister, a nice goal in that hockey game, but they're coming off a couple of games, 44 and 49 shots.
Penguins win the face-off. Malkin, the man who was in the circle, and now Paul Martin sends it to the line. Kartner right back up for Condra. Engelland hangs him up on the boards over there on the far side in front of the Penguins bench. And now Malkin snaps it up the left wing. Kunitz couldn't play it. Kartner tried to get it back to the net. And Neal went down to block that, and here comes Malkin back. Kunitz driving to the goal. Malkin looks for Neal, and a shot off the heel of his stick. Ooh, that play was there. I don't know if one of the Senators got a piece of that puck coming through, but Neal couldn't get a clean shot away at center. 50 seconds to go in the period. And taken now by Derek Engelland. Over to Paul Martin. Martin slowly comes to center. Looks for an open man. Now he's going to carry the puck. Banks it off the boards and is tapped right back to neutral ice. Be careful here. 3-on-1 developing. Spezza down the wing. Centers, and the pass is airborne. Alfredson couldn't play it cleanly, and back comes Chris Kunitz with under 30 seconds to go in the period. Neal to Malkin. Malkin on the backhand, a shot, and a save made by Auld. But great chances at both ends here, just on the final ticks of the clock here in the first period. Another one for the Senators maybe. Here's Spezza with it. Moves it to the side of the goal. Johnson back to the corner. Greening there. Bumping him as Niskanen. 10 seconds to go in the period. Alfredson to the corner. Orpik trying to get to the puck. Throws the shoulder into Greening, and now to the point Carlson. Cook and Neal collide as the horn sounds, ending the first period.
Oh man, what a play by Engelland on the 3-on-1. He faked towards Spezza. He moved off Spezza. He forced a dish pass. It was a bad pass, and nice job, Derek Engelland.
There's our Fort Pitt Capital by the numbers first period recap. The Penguins coming all the way back to lead the shot category 11-9, and the chances almost even.
Yeah, it was great. As soon as he got to the 4-on-4, the Penguins started taking this hockey game over.
Eric Tangradi, the big dog, will visit with Dan Potash, our UPMC Sports Medicine feature coming up. Highlights and analysis. The Senators in their heritage jerseys, and the Penguins are scoreless.
Scored 322 of his 371 career goals with the Penguins after joining the team in a trade from Toronto prior to the 1974 season. Keogh authored 9 consecutive 20-goal seasons for the Pens, which included 4 30-goal seasons, plus his career high of 55 in 1980-81. An All-Star Game participant in 1981 and 82, Keogh also won the Lady Byng Trophy and was inducted into the Penguins Hall of Fame in 1992. He's also a member of the team's Ring of Honor.
You love local sports, and so do we. Like us on Facebook at Root Sports Pitt, and you can stay connected with our teams and other passionate fans just like yourself. So, what are you waiting for? Like us on Facebook today.
A Friday night at Scotiabank Place, the place to be, where the Pens and Senators are scoreless after one period of play. Here's another place to be as soon as it gets a little bit colder. This is the Rideau Canal, where people can go skating. It stretches, I think, about 4 or 5 miles. Now, this video taken at night. Now, as you can see, it's hard to see, but that will change during the All-Star weekend here in late January, when about 2,500 skaters will take the ice wearing lights, kind of like a coal miner. The event's sponsored by Energizer. It's part of the All-Star Weekend celebration, so everyone will be skating at night with lights. I would think, guys, if you see 2,500 lights skating at you, that actually may be kind of cool.
It would just be cool just to be able to skate on the Rideau Canal. Some people skate on that canal to work. They take their briefcases with them here in Ottawa, which of course is the capital. You got Parliament Hill, the beautiful Parliament buildings downtown, which we never see anymore because this arena is actually in Canada, Ontario, which would be kind of like it being in Washington, PA if with Pittsburgh. Here's Spezza down the wing. He centers, score! Colin Greening steers it in. Perfect setup that time by Spezza. And the Senators take a 1-0 lead 25 seconds into the second period.
And I don't want anybody to tell me Jason Spezza can't skate. There's all making a better play than he did in the first. Look at the speed. And that speed of Spezza allows him to get down behind Derek Engelland. And this time, Derek Engelland cannot deny the pass. He does not get the stick in the lane of that pass. And it's a backdoor goal as Martin is late getting back on Greening. And that's the difference between the one we showed you first on the telestrator and on that particular play. Great speed, number one, and not being able to deny that pass, number two.
Kunitz moves it out to the point. Orpik with a slapper, and that is blocked by Condra, and then knocked down Orpik as he got to the puck to poke it down the board. Malkin wheeled it into the slot. The Senators counter. Zach Smith to Condra. Back for Smith. Knocked away from him by Niskanen. Condra to the puck. Lifted it in behind the net. Malkin takes it there. Evgeny Malkin sends it out on left wing to Kunitz. He hands it off to Niskanen. Niskanen goes left side. Neal with it. Neal shoots it, and it's blocked. And hit Phillips. Came around near side where it's tapped off the boards by Dogovich. The center. Orpik left side. Malkin takes a bump in front of the Penguins bench. And Neal, I think that's Smith, number 15 over there. He's jawing right now with Matt Niskanen as they go to the bench.
Yeah, players recognize that. They know what's going on. And when you're a player like Malkin takes a shot, you're going to go in the face of somebody. Smith, yeah, he's getting a mouthful. Earful, I guess.
Now up the right wing comes Aaron Asham. Asham fakes the shot. Sullivan shoots it. He scores! Steve Sullivan makes no mistake. And he popped it inside the post on all, and the Penguins answer to make it 1-1.
Ah, what a release. Did he snap that one? Sullivan on a beautiful backdoor feed from Asham. Asham's able to get that puck through. As the Penguins, Sullivan has to wait to stay on side. A beautiful pass by Asham. And just a quick little touch. He stops it, snaps it to the blocker side of all. He's basically sitting on his goal line, taking away no angle at all. Look at all, off the angle. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. If he's sitting on top of the paint instead of in the net. And Aaron Asham's got 200 points in the National Hockey League to go with that brawn. And I'll tell you, that was a beautiful play. And what a response by the Penguins. After no goals, when you can score in the X shift, that is huge. It's huge.
Look at the Senators are like 8-5-2 when they score the first goal. So they've had teams come back on them this year. Some teams, they rarely lose when they score first. But the Senators have had teams bounce back after they've scored the first goal. The Penguins did that. Quick shot, score! Jason Spezza. Oh, my. That was a rocket right along the ice inside the post.
Well, I saw him shoot a puck against Tim Thomas in a 4-1 loss the other night. It was a snapshot, and that slap shot there was as powerful as the snapshot was the other night. And Spezza's got 2 points now, so 3 straight shifts, 3 straight goals. And you talk about the timeliness as Brent Johnson, he can't get across on the top of his crease either to cut down the angle. He's moving from left to right. There's another turnover. Carlson keeps it in. And the Penguins, after scoring a huge goal, after the Sens open the scoring, give up a big goal to Spezza. Bang, bang, bang. After no fireworks in the first period, this game is heated up here.
Now taken by Brent Johnson up off the glass. And Steve McIntyre got a piece of it that came out the center. Winchester drops it back for Lee. Ryan Lee works it to the right wing, where Bobby Butler dumps it into the Penguin zone. Niskanen back to get it. Is bumped by Zenon Konopka. And Adams finds Tangradi, who snaps it into the middle, off the leg of Brooks Orpik, and chops at the puck as Bobby Butler dumps it in behind the Penguins' goal. So no goals in the first, 3 in the first couple of minutes of the second.
2:04, we believe.
And it was Sullivan from Asherman Vitale. Nice to see Joe pick up a point. Now Bobby Butler with a puck for the Senators. Spezza from Alfredson and Carlson at 2:04, making it 2-1.
Well, the Penguins just not managing that puck the way you want to here, and boy, it's amazing, especially when you don't manage it against top players. It's going to hurt you.
Now Greening bumped by his counterpart number 14, Chris Kunitz, and Derek Engelland gains the red line and fires it around. Carlson over to play it. Kunitz coming down the wall, got a piece of it to move it back on defense to Paul Martin, and now to Derek Engelland. Engelland, nice pass to Malkin, dishes it to Neal. His shot off the stick of Carlson wide. And taken now by Winchester of the Senators. Over for support is Greening as Winchester cuts into it and fires it wide. Spezza again, 19. Those jerseys are going to kill me tonight, man.
Yeah, they're classics.
There's Dogovitz with it, and Dogovitz drops it off. Alfredson takes it, and Neal bumped him. And now the puck works loose in front and cleared by Paul Martin up the right wing boards. Malkin gets to the puck. And Evgeny Malkin banks it off the boards ahead. Taken by Kunitz. He's got Neal cut into the net. Can't get on the puck. Hartner broke it up. Kunitz tried to center. And it's going to be cleared up the left wing to Zach Smith. Smith cuts into the middle. Now to Dogovitz down the wing. And Dogovitz shoots the puck and is blocked by Dupre. Picard takes a bump from Zach Smith after clearing it up the far wall. Cook trying to get control of it now. And Dogovitz had to go by him. Tyler Kennedy dishes it up the near side, and Dupre has it for Pittsburgh. Simon Dupre to Cook. Stepping up on him is Phillips. Following on, though, Tyler Kennedy. He shoots it. Pad stop made. Rebound, Kennedy. He lifted it right over the body of Auld. Now he turns and shoots another one to the net. And that's what Tyler Kennedy does. Shoots from everywhere. And Auld able to make the saves. As we look at our UPMC Sports Medicine injury update.
There you see undisclosed injuries. That's what they're calling Sidney Crosby, Latanya McCulloch. Not in the hockey games. They've been at McCulloch. Concussions. Lovejoy the wrist, straight to the elbow. There's Jeffrey knee, Park a foot, and Jordan Stahl. Not sure lower body, they were calling it the other day. Not sure tonight. And there's a discussion between the coaches trying to figure out how do we turn this thing back in our favor. And they're juggling the lines right now with all these injuries.
3 goals in a minute 39 here to start the second period. Now taken by Pascal Dupuis. Tyler Kennedy took a heavy check from Cowan. Worked it to the corner to Cook. Cook working on Winchester. Centers it, and it's going to be swept away by Carlson up the right wing. Neal ahead to Foligno. And good gap by Orpik, but Foligno able to get around him. Niskanen back, hits Foligno, takes the puck, and then he takes a big hit from behind from Neal. Oh, boy. And Niskanen just able to prevent himself from getting injured on that hit.
Boy, there's some hits that are right on the edge right now. And you got Foligno and Neal out there together.
Dupuis, Kennedy shoots it, and it's blocked by Cowan. Jared Cowan doing a good job so far, only 20 years old.
Oh, he's a good hockey player.
There's Kennedy, backhand shot, he missed the goal.
Kennedy's attempted how many shots? 6 in the last 2 minutes.
He's got it again. Now for Dupre. Kennedy's gone 8 without a goal, but he hasn't been without opportunities to shoot the puck. He's made a lot of good shots, I think, and forced goalies to make good saves.
Yeah, Kennedy's arms are going to fall off pretty soon, and Niskanen, boy, he almost got his head taken off in his own zone going back for a puck. There's a little bump on Foligno, but then as he's turned, he gets hit, but Neal let up at the last second just enough. Brent Johnson had his arm up. You see Brent Johnson? He was looking for a penalty. After Niskanen had got hit in the back from Neal, you saw Brent Johnson put his arm up looking for a penalty from the official. There was none.
Sullivan to the puck. Centers in front. A good save that time by Auld. Right on the doorstep on Joe Vitale. Vitale's gone 18 games without a goal. He's got an assist in this game. That was a pretty good opportunity there. Now Sullivan is bumped, not hit hard by Winchester over there in front of the bench. Looks like that could have been a situation where he could have really lined him up. Now Asham down the right wing. Curls Sends it down the wall. Off the stick of Picard to the corner of Vitale. Now behind the net to Sullivan. Steve Sullivan. Penguins crashed the net. Sullivan's backhand shot. He almost sneaked that one in.
Oh, the same spot, but that was on the backhand. Looking to the blocker side of Auld. I love the pass by Vitale to use the wall and get it to Sullivan. It's a beautiful pass because of the position Sullivan was in.
And that was a good creative play to come out from below the goal line and get a good backhand shot away. And the Penguins working on ways to generate offense around that net. There's a backhand pass by Lee that went through the paint. Now picked up by the Senators. Alfredsson shoots and scores. Daniel Alfredsson with a quick release makes it 3-1.
Great pass by Jason Spezza again, and Konopka's in the blue paint. This goal would have been called off years ago on Kevin Stevens because he was always in the crease. And Konopka, the big man, leading the National Hockey League in penalty minutes, is right in front of Brent Johnson. Take a look at this. Puck goes into the corner. I believe it's Spezza who's going to make the play down from the corner of the ice. Right there to Alfredsson. And look where Konopka is. Both skates, after Spezza makes that play to Alfredsson, both of his skates are in the blue paint. Brent Johnson can see nothing at all.
No defenseman, Bob. It's who's in front of the net here on the goal?
Well, they're following it. You got Englund and Martin, but they're following the puck up the wall. It didn't get out. And in behind Brent Johnson, you like to see him up there and maybe engage with Konopka. At least draw some interference, some contact, wave the goal off. But Konopka's got both heels in the blue paint.
And Alfredsson got rid of it quickly to score his 9th goal of the season. And his 4th goal in the last 10 games. He's got, well, now he got 11 points in his last 10 games.
Phillips, look at that soccer play.
Yeah, there's Dogovitz moving into the right wing. Shot. Condra let it go. Now the loose around the net. Brent Johnson out of the goal, but the puck stayed in the vicinity to where he could freeze it. And now Kunitz gets involved in Norpert rather in a little headlock.
There's going to be a penalty here, I believe, on Dogovitz for running into Brent Johnson. He was aggressive there. He did draw contact, and the Senator is going to go to the penalty box for bumping into Brent Johnson.
Well, the Penguins need something good to happen here. Get on the power play, score a goal, get back into it. It's 3-1 Senators. Spezza and Alfredsson helping the Senators to a 3-1 lead. And we invite you to remember that later on we'll have our Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment for you. Penguins have to get back into this thing. Dogovitz is in the penalty box for goaltender interference, and the Penguins on the power play for the first time. They're ranked 13th with a man advantage. James Neal leading the league with 9 power play goals. Gino's got 11 power play points. They're out here right now on the Malkin trying to win the draw to get possession here on this power play. And Neal over to take the puck. James Neal to Evgeny Malkin. Now to Kunitz along the goal line. Kunitz behind the net. Gives it out to Niskanen. Cross ice Sullivan. Now to Malkin working the half wall left side. To Neal. He's right there. Shoots it down low, and the save made by Auld. That was a sneaky little shot just off the pads of Auld.
Well, yeah, and that was a great play by Neal because he saw the stick, the poke check out there on James Neal, and he tried to slide it around that poke check and under the legs of Auld that were not protected with a stick.
UPMC Sports Medicine power play for the Penguins as Phillips smacks the puck. It comes bouncing into the slot, but right there to get it is Cowan. And he delivers it the length of the ice.
Jason Spezza with 3 points on the night gives him 35 on the year. Puts him in 3rd place in NHL scoring behind the injured Claude Giroux, who was injured, has concussion symptoms, and Phil Kessel of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And give Daniel Alfredsson 398 career goals.
Sullivan tried to go to Tangradi. Malkin follows on. And Malkin left it on the wall. Alfredsson lost his stick, and the Penguins control the puck. Niskanen. Sullivan shoots it down low, poked away by Auld, and then knocked out of midair and down the ice by Daniel Alfredsson.
Auld made a good play with his stick. Alfredsson knocked it out of the air with his stick, and the Penguins really could use a power play goal right now, big time.
28 seconds to go on the penalty to Dogovitz. And Paul Martin surveys the situation as he enters the zone, and Dupuis dumps it to the left wing side. Tangradi is there. Eric Tangradi working on the second power play unit for the Penguins. To the corner now for Tyler Kennedy. Kennedy banks it off the boards to Martin. 10 seconds to go on the penalty. Dupuis shot. And that went off Condra. Centered. Oh, Dupuis was there, but he poked away at the last second as he was trying to knock one in. And And now it's cleared by the Senators the length of the ice, and the penalty's over.
So the Penguins using Simone Dupre on this second power play from about 2 hours away here. As Montreal very close to Ottawa.
And I think if you go back and look at highlights of Simone Dupre last year at St. John's Sea Dogs, you'll see some pretty nice goals that he scored. He could shoot a puck. And Dupre gaining confidence with every game, playing in his 7th NHL game tonight.
Well, you see that play right there? They believe just stripping one of the Senators down deep, using his big strength and size. So he really is feeling more comfortable. I can see that every shift almost.
Vitale battles on the near wall. And the Penguins able to get the puck into the offensive zone. Carlson over to play it. Look out, here comes Tyler Kennedy. He had him lined up, but unable to get a good clean hit on him. And Vitale drops it back to Derek Engelland. Engelland gets his feet moving, finds the red line and dumps it in over to the far side. Carlson, this is going to be icing. Engelland did not gain the red line there. He was very close. Sometimes they'll give it to you, but he wasn't close enough that time. Day Automotive this day in Penguins history. Was it a sad day, really? Mario Lemieux playing his final game. Remember, he had the problems with his irregular heartbeat and was unable to continue that season. Now off the face-off, it's controlled and cleared off the near glass. A bouncing puck. And Erik Karlsson able to just wheel it right back to the Penguin line. Brooks Orpik with it. Over to Derek Engelland. Out now to Aaron Asham, who let it go through. Neal shovels it off the boards in behind the net. Cowan hit hard by Aaron Asham. Asham trying to kick it free. The Penguins realize they've got to go to work, take the body, need some momentum here. They're down by 2 goals.
There's a penalty by Neal. Adams drawing that penalty.
And Brent Johnson has to go all the way across center ice to get to the bench in favor of an extra attacker. It's Evgeny Malkin on the ice. Penguins control the puck here with the extra man on, but now the whistle blows and the Penguins will get a second consecutive power play chance. Down by 2.
There's the stick of Neal riding up. Adams clamps down on it appropriately. Neal goes to the box. Well, another minor, Steggy, Chris Neal in the box, and James Neal with 9 power play goals, tied with Johan Franzen, trying to jump up to 10. Let's see if James Neal can make Chris Neal pay.
It's another UPMC Sports Medicine power play, and Malkin will take the face-off against Zach Smith. Chris Neal has spent a lot of time in the sin bin. Now Niskanen shoots it, scores! Matt Niskanen. I think he'll get the goal. It'll be his first goal in 29 games, and well-timed, Matt. And the Penguins get a power play goal off the draw.
And Chris Neal feels shame, and the Penguins win a face-off. Possession is the key here. Chris Kunitz, watch Kunitz go to the front of the net and impede the vision of the goaltender. Right there. Alex Ault's looking around. Sullivan to Niskanen, who was able to settle that puck down. I don't know if it hit anybody on the way in. There was a couple of players up high in Phillips, possibly. But Ault's looking around. He doesn't see that puck whistle by him. Niskanen torches Alex Ault.
Remember in the morning skate, Dan Bilson was talking to Matt Niskanen for a long time today about some things, and I'm not sure what he was discussing, if it was defense or offense, Bob, but Niskanen, in any event, back on the board, and he's done a lot of good things for the Penguins, because they said coming into the game, leading this team with a +12.
Penguins had to, he's been unbelievable, hasn't he, in the absence of some of these guys? He really has, Staggy, and if you look at his contributions and the way he's come back this year, just like James Neal. After the trade, it wasn't all rosy for these guys. Now they know the system, and boy, they're different hockey players, both of them. And for the Penguins to score that goal, that was huge.
Their shot, Brent Johnson stops this one. As Dogovich let it go, and discussion there between Niskanen and Zach Smith. Obviously, Zach Smith is a guy who likes to talk it up on the ice, because we've already seen him involved in a couple of conversations. In fact, if you remember, it was Niskanen and Smith who were talking earlier from the 2 benches, so they continue their discussion.
After Smith had bumped into Malkin, that was Niskanen. They gave him a little shove in the back. Just, I'm here. I saw it. don't think you're getting away with anything. And Zach Smith leads the Sens in plus minus. Niskanen leads the Penguins in plus minus.
And Spezza, who has 3 points and is climbing the ladder in the NHL scoring race, takes the face-off against Joe Vitale, who comes into the game with an excellent conversion rate in the face-off circle at 56.9% tops for the Penguins in that category, and he wins another one against a very good face-off man in Spezza. Spezza came in at 55%, and Vitale won that draw, and now we're going to get another face-off. College basketball coming to Root Sports. Bob Huggins leads the Mountaineers onto the court at the WVU Coliseum to play the Islanders of Texas A&M Corpus Christi. It's all part of wild and wonderful sports. It tips off tomorrow at 2 on Root Sports. WVU coming off 2 impressive wins over Kansas State in double overtime and also Miami. We get a lot of viewers in the West Virginia area, and I'm sure they'll be happy with that. And we're showing those games. There's Sullivan down the left wing. And welcome to all of our West Virginia viewers on Root Sports.
I think we have a penalty here. Yeah, Ashton was high sticked, and if he's bleeding, it's going to be 4 minutes. And the Ottawa Senators are really putting themselves behind the 8 ball here in this hockey game. They were in control at 3-1, but now it's Penguins. And it's going to be Daniel Alfredsson, one of the best penalty killers, to stick high into the face of Aaron Ashton. And Alfredsson is going to go to the box. What an opportunity for Pittsburgh. See if they can get possession again off a face-off.
It's a 2-minute penalty. You see Ashton, no blood on his face.
Niskanen back on the right point this time. He was on the left point when he scored the goal. The faceoff was on a different side of the ice.
Third power play chance for the Penguins. The Senators among the most penalized teams in the league. Here's Malkin shooting, scores! Evgeny Malkin with a laser beam into the goal. And I don't know how that ended up behind all, but he never saw it, I'll tell you that. And Evgeny Malkin ties this baby up at 3, just 8 seconds into the power play.
All the same elements. Get possession off the face-off, get it to your guns, your shooter, and get traffic in front of the net. We saw it on the first goal, the Penguins' second goal, and then we saw it here. Kunitz in front of the net once again as Sullivan gets it to Malkin. That wrist shot through traffic, and Alex Auld can't see anything. And these goaltenders, when you have players in front of you, you have to get out and engage. You have to try to get out there. Before you have to establish your position before Kunitz can establish it. And Alex Auld has just played possum here. I mean, he's just sitting there and allowing Kunitz to get in front of him. We saw it when Konopka got in front of Johnson, and we saw it twice when Kunitz got in front of the goaltender Auld. Those are the elements of scoring goals, Staggy. Win faceoffs, shoot the puck on the net, and have traffic in the game of the NHL.
And that's the first multiple power play goal game for the Penguins since they scored 2 power play goals against the Dallas Stars back on November 11th. They went 2 for 5 that night. The Penguins have 2 power play goals, 1 from Niskanen, 1 from Malkin. And here comes Foligno. Backhand shot. Oh, Johnson just got his arm on that.
Off the bar. Off the bar, up above his arm. Crazy shot, a backhand by Foligno.
Foligno almost scored there, cutting in on the backhand. He was looking for his 10th of the year. He's got it again, moves it left side to Daniel Alfredsson, who stops up. Alfredsson dumps it rink wide, and then behind the net, Foligno with it. Malkin from Sullivan and Kunitz, who did a great job in front of Auld again. And now it's Foligno firing out of the goal to the near side. Cowan back to the front of the net, around Orpik and into the goal. It hit Brooks Orpik in front and found its way behind Brent Johnson. It's not a good night to be a goaltender.
Oh, this is a crazy hockey game, folks. We've already seen 7 goals here in this second period. Lots of traffic again in front of Brent Johnson. There's the first shot. It comes around the wall, and just a shot by Cowan goes off that skate of Brooks Orpik and in behind Brent Johnson. And they both look up to the heavens and say, how can this happen? There's no chance for Brent Johnson. No chance at all to make that save. So right after the Penguins tie it up with 2 power play goals, the Ottawa Senators respond. This is one crazy hockey game.
And here comes Ashton, shot and a save by Auld. And in a game like this, it's kind of like in baseball when pitchers can't get anybody out. And, you know, goaltenders start thinking everything's going to go in. It starts to kind of erode their confidence. And it takes a really mentally tough goaltender to be able to deal with this. And all making the save there on Aaron Ashe.
Look how deep Alex Auld is in his net when he makes that save, even on Auld. Now that is a sign of a goaltender that's not confident in his game, that's afraid of the next shot coming, that maybe hasn't played a lot. I mean, Alex Auld right now is really suspect.
Cowan gets the goal off the skate of Orpik. Polino and Carlson assisting on the goal to make it a 4-3 Senators lead with 6:09 to go. And Auld handcuffed a bit on that one, but he's got control of it.
3-point outing for Sullivan. It was on the doorstep of Auld right now, and I would shoot every puck possible from everywhere on Alex Auld, who was fighting the biscuit. I mean, this has been a tough, you mentioned it's been a tough period for both goaltenders. I mean, Alex Auld, he's a big goaltender, and you can't feel that puck sometimes. You just shoot it on him. How many shots does Tyler Kennedy have in this hockey game? He started the barrage here with shots. The Penguins have continued. The shots are 21-16 right now. The Sens have 4 goals on 7 shots in the second period.
3-point game for Sullivan in this game for the Penguins. Neal's shot high and wide and up off the netting and behind the goal. Sullivan's last 3-point game was December 14th of 2009 against Columbus. So Stevie Sullivan with a 3-point night.
And Tyler Kennedy's attempted 8 shots and 5 have got on. Oh.
Welcome back to the second period shootout between the Penguins and the Senators. And during Wednesday's game against Boston, Senator goaltender Craig Anderson, who you're looking at there, paid tribute to Clint Benedict, the first NHL goaltender to wear a protective mask way back in 1930. Now, Benedict won 3 cups with the Senators before wearing a mask. Members of his family, by the way, were honored here tonight. Anderson will wear that mask, guys, on select nights throughout this season. Pretty cool.
Everybody thought Jacques Plante was the first guy, but Plante was the first goaltender to popularize the use of the mask. Benedict actually wore it first to cover up his nose, which had been broken. He had the bridge of his nose broken by a puck, so he wore that protective leather mask. And he's experimented with a few different ones as we get a collision right off the faceoff here. Kartner goes down without a stick. And he's pleading his case.
Yeah, but he's the one who impeded James Neal. And these guys were battling on the initial face-off, and it was dropped, and they had to whistle it and put those 2 combatants back, and then they battle here. There's a stick between the legs, and how does he get cut?
His own stick came up and caught him right in over the left eye. Right there.
It did. It was his own stick. He got butt-ended by his own stick. And we saw Craig Adams put his own stick between his skates. And right before that face-off, there was a false face-off because those 2 players were jumping into the circle. Those 2 players were already battling. The referees were looking for something. They found it right there. And Kartner's all cut up.
And the Penguins, who have a couple of power play goals already in this period, will get another opportunity here with Malkin, Kunitz, and Neal up front with Sullivan and Niskanen at the points. What's interesting is that Kunitz and Sullivan assisted on each of the 2 power play goals, one by Niskanen, one by Malkin. Let's see what Kunitz can do on a faceoff. He's not accustomed to doing that against Zach Smith. Fans are booing here. They have no idea how Kartner got cut in this situation. They feel that he must have been violated in some way, but it was his own stick, as we've seen. And UPMC Sports Medicine power play, 5 minutes 45 seconds to go in this second period. And Matt Kartner in the box as Cowan works it behind the net. Phillips back up the boards and hit Kunitz. And Kunitz trying to poke it free, but Cowan comes to center. He's out here with Condra. He's got good speed. Eric Condra. And he and Niskanen overskate the puck, and Evgeny Malkin storms back for the Penguins. Malkin banks it off the boards. Neal takes the bank pass. Works it back to the point to Sullivan. One-timer by Niskanen, and off a stick in front. And now Kunitz sends it back around near side for Malkin. Back to Niskanen again. Stops the puck this time for Sullivan. Sullivan tried to dish it over to Malkin, and Dogovich comes back shorthanded. Sullivan's not a defenseman, but he comes back smartly and takes the puck away from Dogovich. He's really upset that he couldn't make a play there. Smacks his stick on the ice as he goes to the bench. And now Sullivan carries into the attacking zone on the power play for the Penguins to Malkin. Malkin in the slot, down low, Kunitz there. Cuts back in on the backhand. There's a couple times we've seen Kunitz go behind the net just to patiently set it up again on the power play. Here's Sullivan, now to Malkin. Malkin with a blast and a save by Auld.
This Penguin power play, they're toying with the Ottawa Senators right now. 2 power play goals. The Penguins come in 13th in the National Hockey League on the power play. 15th at home, 13 on the road overall. They were 12 for 66 coming in on the road. Now with a couple. They have not scored 3 power play goals in a game since February against the Rangers in last season.
And the Senators now shorthanded 140 times this year, among the most in the NHL. Kartner's going to go to the locker room for repairs on that cut above his left eye. And the Senators coming into the game ranked 28th in terms of penalty minutes per game at 14.8. So they've had penalty issues, and a lot of that comes maybe from their youth. They've got a lot of young players, and maybe they're just not very composed at times. Here's Kennedy working it down low. Nice move by Dupuis as he tried to center. Tangradi was causing some problems in front of the goal, but the Senators come back shorthanded. Winchester to the front of the goal. Knocked off his stick at the last second by Paul Martin. 20 seconds to go on the penalty. And Tyler Kennedy gets untracked here with a man advantage. Kennedy gaining the zone, finding Martin. Martin to the net. It's wide. Comes right to Dupuis. Near side for Kennedy. Good read by Zach Smith. Kennedy, though, cuts inside on him to get to the puck. It's up for grabs right now. 1 second to go on the penalty. Foligno was serving it for Kartner. He comes out of the box. There's going to be another penalty. And this time it's going to be a holding call against the Penguins. Pascal Dupuis.
Well, they were looking for that call after the high stick and Kartner. But really a lot of the penalties from the Senators, I would say, come from Konopka with 106 penalty minutes. He's really going to inflate that number. That team total that really does go into the pot.
You have to.
60 by Neal as well.
But still, though, they've been shorthanded a lot too, Bob.
Yeah,
so
they're
up in that category too.
Yep. And they are playing a lot of young guys, but you see that play there? That's made by an older player, Phillips, drawing that penalty against Dupuis. And he had a conversation with the official after the penalty to Kartner and said, hey, just give us a break. That's how you talk, though. You've been around the game. You're a veteran. You say, I agree with your call, Mr. Official. Just if you see anything on our penalty kill here, if they're impeding us, can you just give us a break? And that's how you have to treat these guys, with respect and a little loving.
Carlson to Rundblad, now to Alfredsson. And the Senators looking to add to their lead now. They're 0 for 1 with 3 shots on their only power play chance. Rundblad with it, number 7. Now to Alfredsson. Alfredsson still a very effective player at the age of 39. Puts it to the corner. Paul Martin trying to play it. Up the wall it comes, and Craig Adams into the middle for Vitale. And he can't get around Carlson. And the will-o'-the-wisp of the Senators comes into the attacking zone. Throws it to the net, and it's handled by Brent Johnson. And he will freeze it there. We'll take a look at the road ahead, brought to you by Land Rover, Bob. The Penguins' road is really heading back to Pittsburgh. They're going to be home a lot.
Well, it is. Well, they've been on the road more than any team in the National Hockey League. So home tomorrow against the Sabres, and Tuesday as well on Versus, and then that road game in Winnipeg before Christmas, before they play a couple of home games in the holiday season. So, some good stuff there. 7 goals here in the second period. 1:20 left on the penalty to penalty killer Pascal Dupuis.
Now it's taken by Matt Cook, who sends it down into the Senators zone. Cowan back to get it. And he's being chased by Adams, so he reverses it behind the goal with 1:05 to go on the penalty to Pascal Dupuis. Here comes Foligno, whose dad was fired along with Randy Carlyle by Anaheim. Out to the point, Carlson. Carlson, look at him skate. Backing up, looking at the net, shoots it. And that hit iron. Now the puck to the corner, taken by Foligno. Into the corner now for Regan. Back to Foligno. Good cycling by the Senators here. Can they get it to the net, though? Foligno turns, faces the net, works it to Regan. In front is Greening. Poke checked away by Brent Johnson. Now out to Carlson. And Regan just dumps it to the corner. After it is Foligno. Martin's in front of the net. The shot. And Johnson made the save. The rebound over to the near side, taken there by Cook. He's bumped by Regan. Back behind the net for Orpik. Not a lot on it as he just sent it to the corner. Carlson crunched by Adams, who whacks it off the boards but didn't get it out. Regan holds it in for Foligno. 13 seconds to go on the penalty. Foligno to the corner for Colin Greening. Out to the right point. Here's Carlson again. Carlson fires, and it's wide of the goal. I think it hit Adams right out front of Carlson there and went wide. And the penalty's over. Onto the ice comes Dupuis. As it's dumped back into the Penguin zone, Brooks Orpik will go back and get it. 1:45 to go in this second period. No goals in the first, 7 here in the second. Now here's Kunitz with it. He leaves it for Brooks Orpik. And Orpik sends it softly up the wall. Carlson reaches for it, moves it out into center. And taken by Kaspers Daugavins. And Daugavins into the Penguin zone. Look at him, he's trying to run the gauntlet. And dumps it to the corner. Alfredsson fires from a sharp angle. That's blocked. And Evgeny Malkin gallops back for the Penguins. Malkin to the right side of Neal. To the middle he goes. He shoots it off a stick high over the goal. Taken now by Alfredsson, who's bumped by Neal. Alfredsson to the middle for Greening. Knocked off his stick by Engla. Niskanen tries to work it to center, and he does. A minute to go now in the second period. Senators changing a couple of players as the Penguins Engla sends it over to Niskanen. Now to the middle to Malkin. And Malkin had it knocked away, and Zach Smith carries against Niskanen. Stops up, looks for a trailer off the bench. It's Lee. He shoots it. Goal post.
That one hit iron. Holy moly. Neal in front, taking a beating by England.
And that last time I said it hit iron, I think that actually hit the stick of Brent Johnson. This one off the post. Now out to the point, Zach Smith with it. He shoots one, and that's off the stick of England and over to the far board. Neal banks it off the wall to center. Kunitz to the puck. 4 Senators around him as he dumps it in. Penguins are changing behind the play with 20 seconds to go. Remember what happened at the end of the first period. A lot of chances in the final 25 seconds of that period. Senators dump it in. Picard back to the puck. He's bumped on the play. Zach Smith goes to
a high stick.
Yep.
Picard's stick on up.
Picard's going to go to the box. And the Senators will have a power play that'll probably carry over to the third period.
Boy.
Well, it might be a major penalty, which means it will carry over no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think it will be that. It could be if there's blood, it'll be 4. It'll be a double minor at worst.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the stick come right up. The point of that stick hitting the face of Zach Smith as Picard's trying to lift that stick.
So Picard will go to the box.
Well, 7 goals in this period, and you don't have the league leader, Milan Michalek, out. 19 goals, concussion. You don't have Sidney Crosby. You don't have Jordan Staal. Konopka, good on the face-offs. Going to take this face-off.
Picard gets 2. Konopka on the draw against Vitale. And off the draw, the puck out to the point. Carlson shot, deflected in
by Konopka. 2 things here. In a power play penalty kill situation, centerman does not stay with the centerman. Konopka wins the face-off against Vitale. He goes to the net. Carlson finds that stick, shoots it to Konopka's stick, and it's in the net. There's Carlson. There's the shot and the redirect by Konopka through the wickets. We've seen 3 goals on the power play in the second period alone that have been scored within 8 seconds of the face-off, just because you win the face-off, you get back to the point, and you have traffic in front of the net. The same formula for 3 goals here in the second period of play, and Konopka scores a huge goal for the Ottawa Senators to put them up by 2 in the final seconds of this period. And the next penalty will carry over to the third. No, it's just a 2-minute penalty, right? Not a 4. So that'll be washed off the board.
What did I say about the last 20 seconds? You know, it looked like the period was coming to an end, and all of a sudden there's a penalty, then there's a power play goal, and it's now 5-3. Just like that.
The Senators have scored 5 goals on 8 shots. 5 goals on 8 shots here in this second period.
And Bobby, Konopka winning 59.7% of his draws. One of the top guys in the league on faceoffs. Smart move by the Senators to put him out there. He's not a power play guy, but if he wins you a draw and you get a scoring chance, then he ends up deflecting it in.
Yeah, you know, went off his stick. It may have clipped his skate on the way. There was no kicking motion. I'm not really sure why they're looking at it. Look at the leverage. He gets his hand really low on that, and then it goes off a stick, and maybe the left skate of Konopka as well, but there's not a direct kicking motion unless I'm missing something. Skate, stick, skate, doesn't matter. You're allowed to redirect. You're allowed to angle a puck with your skate. You just can't have a distinct kicking motion. I mean, this is a goal.
And Carlson, Bob, is showing why. Here's the goal call. It's a goal. this game why he leads the league in defensive scoring.
Because he's got his head up. He's got the ability to move to the center of the ice. We've seen both the Penguins using Niskanen on the opposite point, on the left point in this period to score a goal. We saw Karlsson using him on the left point. Just the ability of a right-handed shooter to keep the stick in the middle of the ice, be able to glide that way. And Karlsson, a very talented offensive defenseman.
Becky Horenko hard at work down there in the truck to get these stats together, because this was a crazy second period.
Yeah, because she's ahead of us. It says 17 shots for the Sens here in the building, 19 on our board there. As you see the power plays connecting for 3 goals in the second period of play. They were fast and furious. 8 goals alone in that second period of play, and let's see if the Penguins have another comeback in them.
That's our 4-Pit Capital by the numbers recap. Dan Potash will speak with Steve Sullivan. 3-point night for him so far. Rob King with highlights from around the NHL. And after 2 periods of play, it's the Senators 5 and the Penguins 3. Look at those two partners. Let's get to what you missed so far in this hockey game. Here's Spezza down the wing. He centers. Score. Colin Greening. Now up the right wing comes Aaron Asham. Asham fakes the shot. Sullivan shoots it. He scores. Now Niskanen shoots it. Scores. Matt Niskanen. Third power play chance for the Penguins. The Senators among the most penalized teams in the league. Here's Malkin shooting. Scores. The goal to the near side. Cowan back to the front of the net. Get into the goal. It hit Brooks Orpik in front. Go down outside the Penguins locker room to join Dan Potash.
All right, guys, thank you. Tony Granato is our UPMC Sports Medicine interview, and Tony got 8 goals in the second period. I guess I'll make it simple. How do you keep them from getting any more, and how do you crank up some more offense in that third period?
Yeah, it got a little crazy. Obviously, that was a big goal that they scored at the end there on the face-off play and power play. So it's, I think we can score, 2 or 3 this period, get back in the game, but it's important that we establish our simple game, which is playing well defensively. If we play well defensively in our end, we'll be able to get our offensive chances. I think we got a little crazy there. Once we started scoring, we started opening the game up a little bit, and they got some good offensive players that took advantage of that. So we got a young blue line back there, and we got to get in on the forecheck. We got to make a play on their end. Hopefully we'll make some mistakes and we get back in the game.
Tony, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan.
Guys?
You can see that Marc-Andre Fleury has replaced Brent Johnson. He will play the final 20 minutes, scheduled to play tomorrow night against the Buffalo Sabres. And Fleury will hold the fort the rest of the way, hopefully. And not a good night for Brent, but at the same time, the puck goes off Brooks Orpik into the goal. Zenon Konopka deflects one in behind him. Those weren't easily stopped.
No, they weren't, and they were fixing the ice, and where Alex Auld has continued to mine the net down there to our left, and he's got to be able to glide across from post to post, and there were some ruts in that ice as the officials are there attending to that.
Fleury will send it around to the near side. Condra got a stick on it, bouncing puck. Penguins can't get it out. Out of the corner. Centering pass. Condra's shot. It's Fleury. So reacting to that shot, and that was a dangerous scoring chance already, just seconds into this period.
You got to be ready if you're backing up in any particular night. And Marc-Andre Fleury making that stop on Condra, scored against Marc-Andre Fleury in the first meeting between these two teams. And he's got to hold the fort, no question.
They have 17 shots on the board up for the scoreboard here. On their sheet, 19 shots for the Senators. They're going to go by the sheet, the official sheet.
Well, they have to, because it adds up to 19.
Yes, it does. And now down the wing. Sent back in behind the net. Spezza on the ice with Alfredsson and Greening, and the Penguins able to clear the zone. And Cowan going back for the puck. Aaron Asham on the forecheck. Hit by Asham. He centers. Quick shot. Blocked.
Boy, that's what Tony Granato said. Get in on the young defense. That was 20-year-old Cowan against Asham, and they got a turnover.
And Vitale just couldn't pull the trigger quickly enough. Now Sullivan behind the net. Vitale out here too with Sullivan and Asham. And traffic in front of that net, but the puck Gathered in now by Foligno, who's bumped by Vitale. And the Senators, up by 2, come to center. Peter Regan with it now. So they'll dump it behind Paul Martin, and behind the goal, Fleury. Trying to clear it this way. It hit Engelland, who got hit by Neal, and the puck goes up the right wing board. And there's a chance now. A shot taken by Auld, or stopped by Auld. And he freezes it with Tyler Kennedy getting yet another shot on goal as he was busting down the right wing. Today's broadcast is on the American Forces Network, broadcasting the United States Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Awesome. I wonder how many of the folks that we saw on Veterans Day are watching this game right now, too. And if you are, say hi to all those folks from the Pittsburgh area.
Yep, and happy holidays.
How many shots does Tyler Kennedy have?
6.
Now?
He's got 6.
Another shot high and wide off the glass. Kennedy just can't get the puck into the net. That's the tough part for him. He's gone 8 without a goal.
He needs traffic. You need traffic to beat these goaltenders. We saw it. We showed it on our Range Resources telestration. And look at that. Just get some traffic.
Yep, all flagging it down with a glove and clearing it aside before any Penguins could get there. This is Winchester now. Shoots it to the net, swept away by Fleury and picked up now by Pascal Dupuis. Centering pass, great pass. Kunitz, who was cutting to the goal. All over to play it is Regan.
Martin got hurt by a hit and now he's gimping off over to the bench. He got hit by Phillips, the defenseman, and he's gimping around on one leg.
And he's back in front of his own net. He takes a whack at Regan as he goes by. A battle for the puck in the corner. Up the wall it comes. Malkin trying to get it out. Ends up sending it back into the, getting it knocked off his stick back into the corner by Regan. Neal to the puck. Engelland jostles him into the board. Orpik trying to get it out. Regan bumped him. Malkin helps out down low. Brooks Orpik starts out of his own zone for Kunitz off his stick. Right back down to Orpik, ahead for Neal. And Kartner there to cut it off, and he backhands it back to the Penguin line.
Martin went down to the Penguins dressing room. Boy, does it ever stop?
No. It's every game. The next day we're finding out who got hurt the night before. Here's Dogovins behind the net. Gave it right to Neal. Neal back to the net. All makes the save.
Oh boy, Neal's going to the bench now. He got whacked in the face, and he's going down the runway as well. He went down. Now he's staying on the bench and being attended to as we speak. And yes, he goes down the runway.
Fleury stops it behind the net for Brooks Orpik.
Oh boy, I don't know what to say anymore.
Orpik's long lead pass comes through and taken by Steve McIntyre against Carlson. Carlson stripped him of the puck, but Adams falls on. He's stripped of the puck by Neal, who cleared it, not out, held in by Picard. Over to Depre, his shot deflected wide. Oh, right there. It was Tangradi, and it came to a stick, and he just couldn't corral it in time to steer it behind all. I'd love to see Tangradi get a goal here. That would be a big lift.
For he and the team.
It would, because it would be coming from a different source, and it's just the kind of thing that gets a team going a little bit.
Well, take a look at Martin. He got confronted by Chris Phillips up high, and they kind of legs connected. He was gimping to the front of the net and then went off and down, and then Neal got clipped what looked like maybe a high stick. Right there, just a...
Dogovins got him.
Yeah, just a stick. Neal's back on the bench. Some good news for Pittsburgh.
Face off to the right of Alex Auld. Marc-Andre Fleury in net for the Penguins at the other end has replaced Brent Johnson here early in the third period. The Senators leading 5-3. Carlson's got the puck.
Tough to get a hold of Carlson. You'd like to play hard on him. You like to get the body on him. Very elusive.
He is. That's why we call him the Will-o'-the-Wisp. He's like a ghost. Now taken by Daniel Alfredsson.
I thought Casper Dogovins was the ghost.
He's got an S at the end of his name. Well, it was Casper's.
Oh.
So that doesn't count. Here's Carlson. Carlson with it. And he will dump it in. Fleury pushes it aside for Brooks Orpik. Back behind the net for Derek Engelland. The Penguins have won 4 of their last 6 road games, but they're 1-3 in their last 4 overall. Up the wall it comes now for Asham. They've scored a lot of goals against the Senators, 5 or more in 3 of their last 4. Here's another chance for Kunitz. Diving out was all an empty net. Malkin shoots it. Blocked in front by the Senators. Malkin had an empty net, but the Senators got 2 players in front. Another shot whistles wide up the stick of Engelland. Now Orpik with it. Down the wall it comes for Neal. Out to Kunitz, a drive. That's blocked. Turning with it is Neal, a shot off a skate. And Kartner gets to it and moves it out on left wing.
What an opportunity. What an opportunity. As 2 players, Winchester and a defenseman, as Auld was completely out of the net. Malkin with a chance.
Look at Neal flying, trying to run the gauntlet. He's a little bit mad right now. And the Senators have the puck. Neal getting himself back into the play as Eric Condra wheels it over to Lee, and he shoots it wide of the goal. Condra kicks it down in behind the net. Dogovan's there. Condra tries to center, swept aside by Niskanen. And taken by Zach Smith. You know, after the right point, a shot wide of the goal by Lee. Over to the boards is Kennedy. He pokes it out to center, and Cook looks for Dupuis. Pascal Dupuis and Matt Cook can come into the attacking zone. And the shot off a stick wide. Smith tried to clear it, and it goes up into the seats. Over the glass on the far side.
I was watching that play. Penguins had a 2-on-2. Dupre's got to get up and join the rush, and there's the save by the Sens out in front. Kartner making that save.
Look at Malkin, not happy at all. He had an empty
neighborhood Ford store.
Well, Evgeny Malkin's moving up the NHL scoring leaders list with 30 points, but that one there was stopped. A leg save and a beauty by Matt Kartner, the defenseman of the Ottawa Sens. Boy, a lot of room. You're hoping. One thing you got to do is get it on net. Malkin did that, and Kartner comes back and makes a save.
He was a Penguin for a while.
Well, did you see Spezza go down to one knee to win that draw? Look at that. But then they gave it away to Cowan. Spezza down to one knee to win that faceoff. We've seen that. Some players in the league. Gosted does it, Steckel does it, and now Spezza doing it.
Kennedy, Cook, Dupuis on the ice. Kennedy wheels it towards the net off the side of the cage. Carlson takes it behind that net and moves it out on right wing to Daniel Alfredsson. And the captain of the Senators,
offside,
dumps it in, and it's an offside play. In his 12th year as captain of the Senators, Alfredsson. Our Energy Alliance energy player is Steve Sullivan.
No, the last time he had 4 points. He's got 3 in this game. He had 3 back in February against the Rangers. You go back to 09, December of 09 versus Mini. Steve Sullivan had a 4-point game, and I'd like to see that again in this one. Evgeny Malkin with 30 points on the season to lead the Pittsburgh Penguins. Neal and as well with an assist in this game has got 30. Another offside. And Spezza has 35. And they all trail Giroux, Claude Giroux, and his 39 points out of the lineup. One of those players that's been concussed. Spezza was given a rough time a couple of years ago by Chris Letang.
He was very, I thought, well-spoken today on the subject of concussions. There were news people in the locker room today. When you see a news guy, not a sports guy, asking questions, you know it must be a story that kind of transcends hockey, and that's the case with concussions now. Here comes Evgeny Malkin to center, and he pulls up. Works it down the wall. Word that Chris Pronger is out for the year. He's been shut down by the Flyers after visiting Mickey Collins. And in Pittsburgh at UPMC, of course, the man who treated Sidney Crosby so well.
And for Chris Pronger, 37, well over 1,100 games. I wish him well, and they had a great career. And we'll see if he's able to come back.
Simone Desprez moves it up to Brooks Orpik. Into the neutral zone. It's an offside play, and now we've seen some offside calls at both blue lines here as play slows down here in the third period. The road to states, presented by McDonald's, follows all 4 Whitfield football champs on and off the field as they try to make it to Hershey and win a state championship. The road to states is presented by McDonald's, and it's Wednesday at 7:30 right here on Root Sports.
On the Sens side of the ledger tonight, Cowan and Carlson both 3 points in the hockey game to go along with Spezza's 3 points. And for Carlson, now leading all defensemen with 29 points in that category. That's a lot of points. 21-year-old Carlson and 20-year-old Cowan playing together.
Now Dupre, he's only 20 years old, moves it out to center. Over the right wing, and Asham couldn't play it cleanly. Boy, they're just playing catch right now between the blue lines in this game all of a sudden. Senators might be just in more of a protective mode right now, trying to maybe take advantage of any turnovers by the Penguins in the neutral zone. They have a 2-goal lead, and they're protecting it. The Penguins looking to get that next goal and put some pressure on them here. 11:40 to go in the third period. Neal leaves it in the corner for Foligno. Jostled from behind by Vitale, but he just protects the puck. Foligno now for Rundblad, and he comes cutting into the slot and trying to go to the backhand. Niskanen wouldn't let him do that. Forced back to the defense, and Carlson ahead to Spezza. Just lifts it up towards the Penguin goal. This is Matt Niskanen. The Penguins made a change. Neal on the ice. Back for the puck goes Matt Niskanen. The Penguins down to 5 defense with Paul Martin going off, hobbling. Now Chris Phillips takes it.
Well, this is where you rely on a youngster like Simone Dupre.
Malkin storming in. Malkin shoots it, sharp angle, and the rebound came off the skate. Neal was there, but he just couldn't get there in time. Daniel Alfredsson cleaning up his own zone, moved it out to center to Colin Greening. Surrounded by white jerseys as the Senators are changing. And back to get it is Alexander Picard.
Maybe Joe Morrow's the next guy to get called up on injury reserve. I mean, that's how it's getting right now.
All players up from junior if you're in an emergency situation. A Picard shot. And a save made by Alex Auld, and it'll be a face-off to the right of the Senators goaltender.
Let's take a look at our Range Resources telestration here. Talk about a great young defenseman. There's one in Simone Dupre. And watch the play he's going to make this way to Aaron Asham cutting this way as the Penguins use that neutral zone set face-off. And that's a beautiful way to get into the zone. A beautiful entry off a set play.
And there is another player who kind of takes one of the Senators wide, right, to create that open space. But Asham goes in.
That defenseman, he kind of fakes it that he's going that way, and
he gets it to open up like a trap block.
There you go.
Football.
Well, it's great to see. The Penguins' second-round pick last year actually made the. No, I don't mean actually. He did make Harrington off a set face-off there. Dupuis almost scores, but he made the World Junior team for Team Canada. Joe Morrow did not, despite the fact that Morrow's got a point a game in junior playing great hockey.
There were just a lot of offensive defensemen vying for jobs there, and they're looking for the right mix of guys. But when you look at Joe Morrow, you know he's got to be one of the top junior age players in the world. No question about that. It's just a question of whether or not he could fit into the puzzle there.
Don't feel bad about that. Be excited about Morrow and the fact that the Penguins' second-round pick made that team. It's
exactly. Awesome. This is Zenon Konopka with it now. Foligno tried to come to the net, and Dupuis hounded him from behind, wouldn't let him carry that puck to the goal. Tyler Kennedy gets it. Even though Foligno had body position on Dupuis, he hung in there. Tyler Kennedy just wants a goal so badly. Shoots it, and a glove save made by Auld.
He just needs traffic in front of Auld. A lot of perimeter shots. I love the fact he's shooting the puck. Hopefully there'll be some rebounds and some screens, and that'll happen for Tyler Kennedy.
Provider.
Time for the Stay on Your Feet play of the game, brought to you by Timberland Pro.
And it's the Niskanen power play marker through a screen as he settled that puck down. And we did have a Paul Martin sighting. He came out here at that last time out. Looked like he took a little twirl, then he went back down the runway. I guess it's entirely possible that he had a skate issue. That is possible, as he couldn't make his way around the ice. So we'll reserve judgment there until we get a report on Paul Martin.
Matt Niskanen wrists it up the right wing board. Steve Sullivan takes the pass and slips it inside the Ottawa zone. Cowan back to get it. Banks it ahead to Alfredsson, and now to Jason Spezza. When Spezza was drafted, the description of him was that he wasn't a great skater. He was good from the blue line in.
Who's that?
Jason Spezza. That was what the scouts said. And it may have been the case when he was first drafted. He became a much, much better skater, though, over time. And now he seems to be the complete package in that regard. Now here's Asham shooting it. Oh, it hit the crossbar. Auld heard it before he saw it.
He reacted at the last second as it whistled by his glove hand. He He just couldn't find it. Right where the goalpost meets the crossbar. It was just a kind of almost a rainbow shot, if you will, by Asham that almost found its mark.
James Neal looks right wing for defenseman Picard out of his reach. Cleared by Phillips to center, and now it's Kunitz steaming down the left wing. He'll drop it off. Picard takes it there and risks it in deep. Foligno hit by Kunitz. Puck squirts free. Malkin reaches out to try to poke it away from Phillips, 33 years old. He was taken first overall in '96. Now taken by Kunitz. Closes in and shoots it off a stick way up into the seats here in Ottawa.
Take a look at Asham's shot. Just a wrist shot from the point area. And he just lofted it in through some bodies, and it kind of rainbow just almost
clipped the glove.
Couldn't tell if it clipped the glove there or not. It almost appeared that it did, and we've seen him bobble a couple of those tonight already.
Alex Auld looks at the face-off. Dupuis trying to get to it in the corner around Spezza. Comes out to the boards, and a good quick shot by Cook was stopped by Auld. He seems to be reacting late to every puck. It just almost looks like if the Penguins could get shots on him, they're going to get some more goals here.
Just fighting it, isn't he? Just fighting that puck right now.
Tyler Kennedy dipping and diving, swept off his stick, and look out. There goes Alfredsson. Back is Dupre to the net. Spezza, he scores. Oh, that was a beautiful shot by Spezza. Finally off the post and in. He surgically scored that goal to make it 6-3.
And it came off a turnover against two of the top Senators. Tyler Kennedy tried to buy time at the blue line and look for a body. It didn't happen. There's the turnover as Engelland's going north. And there, you got Alfredsson. Watch the dish pass and watch him pick a spot. You see, Spezza picked his head up. Fleury was aggressive, and he found the spot right in the 5-hole. Boy, that's a goal scorer. It really was. Patience to get the puck, find the spot. As Fleury came out with the poke check, Spezza found the 5-hole. Spezza's had a 4-point night here and is comfortably now alone in third place in the NHL scoring leaders. And be careful, because very soon with Drew out, he'll be right there.
Here comes Picard to center, and he dumps it to the defense. Jared Cowan moves it out. Niskanen is waiting there. The Senators have 13 draft picks in their lineup. Adams down the right wing. Shot to the goal. Save made. Chipped wide of the goal on the rebound by Tangradi. The team we're going to see tomorrow night, the Sabres, have 18, I believe. There's a penalty coming up here. And it's going to be James Neal going to the box. I think the Edmonton Oilers have 15, Bob, but the Senators, one of those teams in the league that has a lot of their own homegrown players who are young and starting to gain valuable experience.
Well, so this isn't going to help the Penguins' cause right here. That's a penalty to James Neal. I can't admit that I've seen it right now. They're going to call goalie interference. They got knocked there. Boy, did he buy that penalty, Alex Auld.
A little earlier, Dupuis bumped Auld, knocked his mask off. This time Neal bumps him, and he went flying into the net.
Well, he went flying. I mean, boy.
Now it's Rundblad wristing it, blocked, man up ice. Cook couldn't get the pass. He was picked off by Rundblad. He's got it now. Throws it rink wide. Alfredsson controls it in the left wing corner. Spezza wants more, Bob. Here's Phillips shooting and deflected by Neal up into the netting behind the Penguins goal. So Fleury has allowed a goal here in the third period to Jason Spezza. 6:43 to go in the third.
And time for a Subway sandwich of the game here. Eric Tangradi, Cowan in his face and Cowan on his wallet. Tangradi, an opportunity and a couple of chances around Alex Auld here in the hockey game. 6-3 Sens. 6 goals on 21 shots for Ottawa here tonight.
They've been a streaky team. Carlson with it. They had lost 3 straight home games to the Caps, Vancouver, and Boston. And right now with a 6-3 lead over the Penguins here late in the third. Carlson with it at the right point. To Cowan. Alfredsson down low. Spezza centers. It goes right off the stick of Carlson. Was cutting in the back door, and the Penguins go the other way. Joe Vitale on the penalty kill for the Penguins along with Adams. Sends it down the boards. It'll be taken by Cowan.
We saw them working on this power play this morning, and they look very sharp with nobody against them. They look very sharp with the Penguins penalty killing unit against them. No Sergei Gonchar in the lineup for the Ottawa Senators. He's played better over a recent stretch here, and a lot of talk about maybe Sergei Gonchar moving on to Philadelphia, possibly in the absence of Pronger.
Well, yeah, people are talking about who would the Flyers go get, and they mentioned Gonchar's name. That's all media speculation, an offside call at the blue line, but the way Karlsson's playing, you never know.
Well, you talked about a streaky season for the Ottawa Senators. Let's take a look. First 6, they won 1, then they won their next 6, and then 5, they weren't able to put a W on the board, and now, the same kind of thing. A little up, a little down for this hockey team that's trying to find themselves. A lot of young players, as Tony Grotto mentioned, but they're getting a lot of time and growing very quickly under McLean, who they really seem to like.
When you look at guys like Condra, Smith, and Dogovins, their third line, young players who. Now there's a steal by Cook. He took it away from Karlsson. Cook comes towards Auld to the backhand, and Auld makes the save. Cook threw it back in front, and Dupuis couldn't get a stick on it. Cook and Auld were actually teammates in Vancouver. The lead pass off the stick of Dupuis, one of these 8 teams that Auld has been with, and now.
Oh boy, now that boy, is that Foligno that went down?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, he got clipped a week ago by McQuaid, and he went down. He was injured and came back and played 2 hockey games. McQuaid was fined $2,500. Dupré stepped up. It didn't look like it was much intent at all as he tried to get a piece of Foligno. He does get the knee out there, the leg out there a little bit, the lower leg, as Foligno makes a move at the last second, a reactionary play. There's the McQuaid hit on Foligno. There's the $2,500 fine, and Foligno making the same sort of move here, trying to escape a hit on Dupré, who was trying to stand up in the neutral zone.
Like Dupuis turned his hip and also got his leg in there a bit, whereas McQuaid, he just really stuck out his knee on Foligno. Here's Cook's chance against Auld, and Auld made a good save on him. Yeah. Hung in there.
Yeah, a few moves by Cook. Not quite the moves I saw Patrick Kane providing a shootout the other night, but nonetheless, cradling the puck back and forth. And they do call kneeing on Simone Dupré a 2-minute knee. And
Cook was looking for another shorthanded goal. That would have been his second if he could have scored. And kneeing the call on Dupré, and the face-off to the left of Marc-Andre Fleury. Spezza won it cleanly to Karlsson. Cross to Alfredsson. Fires the puck. Save Fleury. Rebound. Fleury looks for the loose puck. Still loose. Centered by Spezza, and it came all the way through to the near side. Down to 1 penalty now. It was a 5-on-3 briefly, but now it's a 5-on-4 for the Senators. Already leading 6-3. Karlsson to Cowan. His shot. Glove save made by Fleury.
Neal in front of the net, providing that net front presence. You got Spezza and Alfredsson. Spezza doesn't want to come off the ice. Let's see if he does. Yep, he's going to be taken off here with 4:44 on the clock. As that puck is lofted in by Cowan to the glove hand of Marc-Andre Fleury. And I guess Martin not back in this game yet for Pittsburgh.
Engelland rips it off the boards and all the way down. Peter Regan lifts it up into the Penguin zone. Engelland goes back to play it. Just tips it to the corner. Bobby Butler there for the Senators. Also Regan, Butler, Regan, and Greening. All young players out here.
Paul Martin's the only Penguin defenseman that's played in every game so far this season for the Penguins, and a game tomorrow night. Boy, it's tough to play without the services of all these guys.
13 players, 25 or under on that club. Here's a chance for Alfredsson. Good shot. Better save by Fleury with a left pad.
Oh boy, what a play out in front of the net by the defenseman Alexander Picard on Neal, because they had a wide open net off the rebound.
Look at down low, centering pass. Neal looking for the puck. So is Alfredsson, and it's going to be cleared by Dupuis. And 28 seconds to go on the penalty to Simone Dupré of the Penguins.
And Fleury with a pat on the behind for Picard, who saved a sure goal out in front.
He has to kill the penalty for the Penguins with Zabinik McCulloch on the shelf, the concussion. Now Paul Martin in the locker room, and Dupre in the penalty box. And Picard dumps the puck the length of the ice with 4 seconds to go on the penalty for the Penguin defenseman.
Of course, Letang and Lovejoy out as well on the backside. And who are we forgetting? Straight?
Robert Bortuzzo.
Straight, I mean.
Yep.
Bortuzzo, yes. Oh, boy.
Penguins back at full strength. Kennedy shoots it in the save made. Rebound. Tangradi off the post. Couldn't finish the play and is frozen by Alex Aul.
Oh, what a chance. One hand on the stick by Tangradi. Off the back wall. He tried to get in there. Couldn't find his break there. Penguins still going north.
Taste greatness moment was provided by Evgeny Malkin in this game. Really nice power play goal for the Penguins.
Yeah, the Penguins have a couple of power play goals, one by Niskanen, one there through traffic. Kunitz in front of the net, and Malkin with his 12th, but you can see the disappointment on his face in this one as the Penguins are down by 3 with 2:49 left.
Daniel Alfredsson retrieves the puck. Out in center now, Greening steers it up into the Penguin zone. Fleury moves it to the corner, and Simone Dupre. Kennedy out in center now to Asham, who dumps it to the corner. And Tangradi can't get there first. The Senators able to work it back to center. Greening will backhand it up into the Penguin zone. Derek Engelland with control with 2:17 to go in the game. The Penguins with 35 shots. They've outshot their opponent now. It'll be 15 out of the last 18.
Fleury very active. Well, you really notice goaltenders that are great skaters and get out there and stop pucks. Very evident already with Marc-Andre Fleury getting a little warm up for his outing tomorrow against Buffalo Sabres, who are up 4-3 against the Toronto Maple Leafs in the third period of that game. Then they'll have to travel to Pittsburgh tonight.
Carlson swings away from Neal. Shoots it hard off the boards. And back to the puck. Picard just wheels it over to the far side where Niskanen will let Malkin grab it. And Malkin leaves it for Matt Niskanen. On a Picard. The Penguins will be beaten into Pittsburgh by the Sabres tonight because the Penguins have a long bus ride to the airport here. And you're going to go through customs when you get to Pittsburgh. So I would suspect that the Sabres will be all tucked in their beds by the time the Penguins are getting in their cars at the airport.
Unless they're taking a bus.
Shot score, deflected in. And it was Kunitz in front of the net on the shot by Malkin. And Kunitz steering it behind all to make it 6-4 with 1:02 to go.
Wait a second.
Well, Dupre shot it.
Yep, Dupre shot it. They're going to take a look at it as referee's huddle. Was that stick above the crossbar when it was deflected? There's the shot. It was called a goal on the ice. And they're going to look at it in Toronto as they do in the situation room, like they look at all the goals. And I think this one will count. That one didn't look high enough to be overturned to me. Called the goal on the ice. His stick has got to be over the crossbar. I didn't see that. There's the shot by Dupre. It's coming up. He hits it right about shoulder, just under shoulder level. As you can see that the goaltender looks like he's going to take that right in the big O. And that's almost a good sign sometimes. You can see where the goalie's going to play it. Now, had Aul been holding his glove above his shoulder, then I would have told you it was a high stick. In my opinion there, this one will stay. I've seen, we saw the Asham goal this year. Very similar to this kind of thing. There's Aul. Where's Aul going to take this puck? Right there in his big belly. Right in the O, I think. It's close, but I think it's still going to stand.
It is a goal. Kunitz gets his 10th of the season. That's his 7th goal on the road this year out of 10. 7 of his 10 away from home. And he's been a factor tonight in all the goals because he was really good in front of the net.
Look. You know, I mean, kids watching this game right now, you see where everything's happening. It's traffic in front of the net. Goals go in because you go there. You can score goals. You saw Konopka. Now you see Kunitz. Get into the lane of that shot. When your defenseman's got the puck, get in the lane of his shot. You can redirect that puck. If you don't redirect it, you're screening the goaltender. You're going to have a big influence on the result, the end result. We've seen that so many times, time and time again, proven in this hockey game. And let's see if Fleury comes off the ice. It's a minute left. The Penguins are down by 2.
And Depre, who shot that puck, has it now. He gets an assist on the play on the goal by Kunitz. And taken now by Vitale to Engelland, and out in center Dupuis. He couldn't get it deep. Kartner sends it rink wide. Depre jumping up, takes the puck. Here comes Depre. Fleury goes off. Simon Depre lost an edge as he turned the corner. And out the center it comes, and Malkin just jumped on the ice in favor of Marc-Andre Fleury, and he drives it up into the Ottawa zone. Back to get it is Phillips. Now Vitale try to work it in front. Over to the near side, hustling over is Niskanen to work it deep. Vitale there, backhanded it off the back of the cage. Vitale falls down. So does Kartner. And Picard gets to the puck. Now Vitale for Neal, and he fanned on it. Kartner with it again. 6 seconds to go in the hockey game. And the puck dumped down the ice. Matt Niskanen goes back to get it, but time runs out on the Penguins, and the Ottawa Senators defeat Pittsburgh 6-4. Steve Sullivan is our McDonald's player of the game with a goal and 2 assists tonight and a few shots. But the Senators, they just they brought their goal scoring hands tonight.
And the Penguins will limp back to Ottawa on the heels of Paul Martin. We'll get a report on him for you later on the post-game show. And 6 goals, you're not going to win when you allow 6.
Penguins outshoot the Senators 36-24. Tomorrow night, the Buffalo Sabres. We'll have it for you at 6:30. Post-game show coming up.